being a part of your environment for so long. And as designers, we are very excited to be helping people release their homes from quarantine. I think some of this struggling has come from people really not being prepared to be as effective as they can be in whatever roles they're doing from home as effectively as they've had to be during this time. So we've had a lot of inquiry and a lot of busyness ourselves during this time as people are getting ready to do design planning, and now that construction has released, really getting their homes and their projects in tip-top shape so that they're the most comfortable and the most functional that they can really be in their most, you know, important space, home, with their family, with their loved ones. So we've been really excited to be a part of all of that for our clients. And so today we have a list of things that we can talk with you about. We can do some sharing about things that we've done with our clients in doing virtual sharing, and other things that we've done to provide renderings and design information to our clients as they are maybe not, you know, able to quite get into one of our showroom locations. So yeah, we're really excited to share all of that with you. And answer questions, Q&A, of course. You want to maybe start with some of our discussion topics?
Will, certainly. Yes,
should we do a shout out first? Hi, Gary Leidick out in Pennsylvania. Good to see you. There he is.
Good to see you all.
Look at that fancy kitchen backdrop you have going on. And who designed that fabulous space for you? Is that a signature custom creation?
Yes, it was one of our designers in Beaufort, South Carolina, down in the Low Country. Miss Pat Betts from Distinctive Designs in Cavanaugh. I've been to that house, yes.
I think you need the Design Matters signature kitchen as your next backdrop. We're going to screenshot you a new screenshot, Gary.
Send it, and I absolutely will put it in.
It's a bi-coastal Zoom meeting now. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome.
You certainly don't mind a few highs out there, see who's around.
Hey, Julie, I also requested everybody to unmute themselves just so they have the opportunity to ask questions along the way if they'd like. But if now, you'd go ahead and put yourself on mute so that you can unmute yourself and then ask questions.
Right.
Okay. Well, I think, first of all, a lot of people are wondering, are we working during COVID? And yes, absolutely. We're here. We're in the studios. We're in the studio in Los Gatos in Redwood City, you know, mostly doing a lot of our planning and preparation for construction virtually, lots of Zoom meetings. You know, we're using a lot of renderings and increasing our capabilities to communicate electronically very quickly. We've implemented some new softwares to help with this, providing a dashboard for our clients in some instances, a picture into their project. So we have been doing a lot while we're here, and you know, we were actually preparing for more of a cloud-based interface before we had the pandemic. So we were already kind of 2 steps ahead of that, and it's just kind of helped us to make sure that we're maximizing that and working it to the best of our ability. So yes, we're here. We're in the studio, we're at home, we're on Zoom, we're wherever you need us to be, and on the job site occasionally, of course, with our mask and gloves and hand sanitizer.
And a clean pair of socks. We leave our shoes at the door now quite frequently, and so I keep a baggie of socks just in case I need to walk inside. So I think today, you know, we're happy to answer questions and help people if they have any specific design, you know, questions, design needs. But I think some of what Roberta and I just want to talk about is just the process of interior design and kind of debunking the myth a little bit and misconceptions about what we can do and how we provide for clients, making it, you know, as anxiety-free as possible is the experience that we certainly want for our clients at all times. And especially during this time when people are really wanting to get their projects done and are maybe having a little bit more of a struggle finding a way to engage a professional that can really be the most beneficial, you know, to them.
So that's absolutely one of the things that we can do. Many times some clients don't really know exactly what a designer's job is. There are a lot of myths, and a lot of people in the industry have known for a long time that sometimes, they feel like we might just be decorators, or they're not
that there's
sure.
anything wrong with that.
Absolutely, yeah. And that one is really kind of faded over time, but absolutely, they're kind of wondering how we tie in with all of the other professionals as well. Say structural engineer, your contractor, your architect, and in many cases, we're going to be the representative for the client, as well as providing real interior design services. We also provide, a liaison of sorts between these other professionals, helping them to navigate the waters of whose specialty it is at what time and what do they need to provide to the project. So really that's kind of one of the misconceptions, is that, maybe we can do it all, which we can do a lot, but I don't want to do your structural calculations, nor should I. So, we'll help the clients to have all of the other professionals that they need as well as ourselves. And we'll take it, as far as they need us to in that respect.
And to help, coordinate all of the efforts of all party members, so that for the homeowner, they are getting one succinct embodiment of a team. I think that that's something that Design Matters is very well adept at, being the design advocate for the client and making sure that the design and the decisions that support the design and the materials that support those decisions and everything that's needed to get your installation done in the manner that is expected by the professionals and what we would expect for you is really handled through our team. It is the best way that we can ensure that you are getting exactly what it is that you're wanting and that you programmed to be getting. And so we do stay involved all the way until the end. Not just through maybe design planning or kitchens or a remodel or an addition, but we want to stay with you all the way into helping you figure out your soft goods and window coverings and lighting control and all of the things that are going to make your environment really do what you want it to do for you also.
Yes. And so as interior designers, really at Design Matters, we're capable of taking care of that full spectrum from planning all the way to, completion with those soft goods, arts and accessories, decor. At the firm here, we really can take care of all of those portions.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some misconceptions, right?
Yes, well, a lot of clients think that I'm going to design their home in my own personal style, which I do find kind of humorous, but I'm asked fairly often what my style is. And while I'm always happy to share that with someone, the truth is that I'm going to design a one-of-a-kind space based upon your needs and desires and, thoughts, inspirations, color palette. My job really is to pull that out of someone and make it unique and interesting and current. And, whether it's my own personal style is really not applicable. I want to design whatever their style is. And I enjoy the challenge of new styles, historical, modern, retro. I like all of it.
I think that's something unique that Design Matters offers to, our communities is we're really not a thumbprint designer. That's a term that we use that is kind of like an identifying marker. There's one thing that a designer does and it's the same thing that they do and they're known for doing that. If you take a look at our portfolio, you will see a myriad of beautiful different projects and different styles because we design all of it because we love designing all of it. We don't necessarily want to just do one flavor. We want all 31 flavors or however many there are now. We want to be able to provide for, our clients the thing that really makes their home sing for them. And so, my home isn't on our portfolio. Roberta's home isn't on our portfolio page. What you're going to see are really the things that really made our clients' heart sing and what we were able to give our clients. And I think that that's unique, that we can really provide a variety of design aesthetics that meet what our clients really want. And we're proud of that.
Yeah. you know, our diverse team here as well has a lot of different specialties and interests, and we kind of feed off of that with each other, pulling together, you know, our best possible work as a team. You know, we have people to weigh in on what we're putting together, to give ideas to that, to, you know, make us think about it harder and provide those, you know, perfect details and differences that do make the clients just over the moon with the finished product.
Yeah.
You know,
Sasha, give us a wave. Our team member who's sitting on Zoom, very, very interested in environmental and very interested in sustainable and LEED certification. And Sasha's passion for that specifically really does bring one more component to our team of something else that is in our arsenal that we are well equipped at discussing with clients, because we do have so many team members that really do have their own passions and specialties. It makes the work of what the team brings to everybody so much more pervasive. So shout out to Sasha. Whoop, whoop.
Am I ever allowed to talk or jump in?
Please, yes, please.
And you can feel free to ask questions, but this is really fun for me to watch you ladies work. And one of your first subjects was what you do under your umbrella, which doesn't happen all across the country. You guys are very unique in the way that you run your business, where a lot of designers that we work with, and I'm going back one topic a little bit, so maybe follow this, that they'll bring in other allied professionals, but you do that under your umbrella. It's not done a lot in the dealerships that I see all around the country. I get the good fortune of being on the East Coast and the West Coast. Which way, I don't know which way is which, the way you're looking at it, but you are unique, that you have under the umbrella of Design Matters a lot of professionals that other people would have to go and seek that advice. And number two, I knew what you're different, and I like this part. You used a word, and I wrote it down, thumbnail designers. There's a lot of designers that play it safe, and they just do the same things and they repeat it over and over and over, and it's safe. But you give clients what they want and you know how to do it. So that does make you another area of being unique, and I like it.
I
Good
think
job.
Gary Heidick from Signature Custom Cabinetry is saying we're special.
No, seriously, that's just not guy talk. That's really true. Yep.
Thank you, Gary.
Yep.
Let's get maybe into, you know, talking about different projects, scopes, and maybe what people are expecting or not expecting a project might entail and cost. I think that's always a scary thing for homeowners that maybe, you know, haven't done any remodeling or haven't done an addition before. It's a scary thing to kind of not know, you know, what you're getting into. And of course, projects run a variety of different costs. And one of the ways that we like to help clients take an approach to this is really by doing some preliminary design planning and doing it up front. It's a very, very small step in the shallow end of the pool, if you will, to start making progresses that really do end up getting our client to the finish end. We might not know what an addition is going to cost that entails a full AUD, 2 stories with, you know, a mid-size material budget until we start to get to the planning, because there are all different kinds of ways that we know how to stretch a budget. And what I tell clients is that whatever the budget is going to be, it is our job to stretch it the size of dental floss, because we already know how far it's going to need to go beyond maybe what is the obvious thing, the cost of the lumber and the building material and the building shell and the, you know, the mechanical systems and all the interior finishes. We're already thinking about the other things that are going to go into it, like all the installations and all of the lighting and all of the other little details. And so we're really well equipped at helping clients make a spreadsheet and to helping them understand whatever the budget is of the pie that we're dealing with, to start looking at what is really feasible for them. And the way we really go about it, I think, is quite pragmatic and just starting to do small steps. If one step is successful, then we take another one together, and we take another one together after that. So we do the design planning, we get the client's needs, we get the program of all of the things that they're hoping for. We create a design plan, and then we stop. We'll do a check-in to this. We want to then see, you know, where would the contractor say the building cost is for this, and where can we take another, you know, swipe at the apple to maybe make it a little bit more value engineered. And we'll do that early on, so that we're not already going to the planning and the building department with a set of plans, not knowing everything that we need to know up front. And so we do try to help clients anticipate what costs might be. We do try to help them mitigate to the best of their advantage, the best project that they can get for whatever their budget is going to be. And I think clients sometimes are curious or concerned that maybe designers don't get involved with projects if they're not ground up projects or huge renovations. We do projects of all sizes, because what we get back in return from that is that we've really helped somebody create something that they love. And so we might get into, you know, whole house planning or a big kitchen renovation, but we might just flip out someone's master bathroom or do someone's powder bath where their guests enter. Something that really makes a difference for them is great for us too, because we've made a difference and we've helped somebody. I think that's the thing, that's the takeaway from the design profession. We call ourselves the house doctors because we like to come in and fix it. But really, at the end of the day, the thing that we take away with all of our experience is we've really helped somebody make something that makes them feel good. And there's a lot in return for us and being able to provide that for our clients too. That's why we get crazy about it all. Crazy about the design, because we love it and we want to help everybody have something that really makes their space feel special.
You know, so we thank you for all that. We have a question, says, can you talk about the latest that's coming to the kitchen and bath industry and the things you're excited about?
Absolutely.
You want to go first?
Well, so I think that there has been a pretty urgent push towards low maintenance. Everyone is kind of realizing that they really want their home to function for them to the best of its ability without having to have a lot of caretaking involved. So still we're seeing a lot of that. A lot of, you know, slab surfaces, even slab backsplashes are becoming more and more popular. Because it's
no
low
grout
maintenance.
Yes.
That's right.
Grout
No
free.
grout.
Yeah.
The marble look-alike products that are man-made are also becoming hugely popular. And this has been a push for kind of a long time that really is showing itself. You know, a marble slab is still the epitome of beauty and luxury. And some people, you know, are aware of the maintenance that goes along with that and perfectly acceptable taking care of that. There's also been a push to have better sealers and things like that, which is again that longevity and low maintenance option. So I've seen a lot of that, and I'm happy to, you know, help with that, because I want people to enjoy that space each and every day and not have to worry about, you know, the details, cleaning and, you know, things like that. Just live in it and enjoy it.
I think we're also seeing a bigger push towards the technology influence in kitchens. You know, there has been a progressive movement, and yes, we're in the Bay Area, and so we might get a little bit of a bigger brushstroke of it early on, which I don't mind at all. That there is a technological interface that is really starting to take root, both in home automation with, you know, electricity control and electrical settings and how in your rings and video monitoring, but all the way into, you know, your refrigeration systems, your oven systems. You can turn on your oven and preheat from your phone. You can
see what's in the fridge from the grocery store.
How much milk is actually left? Do I go ahead and get that today, or do I wait till the next milk cycle
That's crazy.
comes out?
I need that one.
I probably need that one too. So there has been another push, I think, in really getting technology to take hold, and that I think that the appliance designs are getting more and more streamlined and more accessible to the average homeowner. I think that what used to be considered a commercial application appliance is now seen in people's homes every day. And we are seeing an influence, I think at least, of some other commercial grade appliances that are very well sought after and considered by chefs like Blue Star and other open flame cooktop manufacturers that now every homeowner can have, and you can have them in the rainbow of colors. So as a designer, that's been really fun to be able to start to impart, you know, a range that is a persimmon orange or an emerald green or a beautiful sky blue as one pop of color that really is something that's special to our clients. So we've seen a lot of that. Touchless water faucets, still getting a lot of notoriety, and we're seeing more and more large scale sinks,
appliances,
workstations.
Yeah, like the Galley.
We do have a partner, the Galley workstation out of Tulsa. They are US made, and we show them in all 3 of our showroom locations because I think it is probably one of the more functional appliance apparatuses that has ever hit the market, that really provides benefit to the user, both as the person who cooks and preps and maintains, but also when you serve your family. So we are a big proponent of what they have offered to the kitchen industry, you know, as well.
And I think clients are more open to those kinds of things now. You know, they want to hear new ideas. They want to know what's cutting edge and what they should have, you know, incorporated into their remodel. And that's very exciting because, you know, we're all kind of pushing forward together and just doing cool new things.
Yeah. One thing that came across my desk recently, I have a project that's happening up in Sonoma County. And one of the specifying things that's going into that project, I think it's from a company called Contigo, but essentially it is a fire retardant interior paint. And so that I think it's going to continue to have a huge movement, especially here in California where we deal with wildfire, that getting one more layer of protection for your family by just having a more fire retardant paint that then doesn't penetrate into your sheetrock, that then doesn't penetrate into your insulation and framing is, I think, of huge importance to the homeowners and our industry too. You know, our first mandate is to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the inhabitants of the space. And so that is something that I, you know, was introduced to that I have been, you know, very excited about also. That was a long answer, so we can talk all day about design.
Well, so we have about 12 participants here that are all listening and paying attention, and I'm sure they have questions. So if you have any questions, you can, I believe you can unmute yourself now, or you can put the question in the chat box. So please feel free to ask any questions that you have. I'm still admitting people, so people are still coming in.
Okay.
So one of the things I wanted to know was on the permitting that you talked about a little while ago, how long is it taking during this time to get a permit pulled?
Good question. It varies. You know, both Roberta and I are CCIDC licensed designers. What that means is that we stamp our own drawings for submittal that are non-seismic, non-structural. That is one more thing that we keep in-house that we help our clients with and to get through the process. Now, I have heard a variety of things over this period of time. Santa Clara County is actually moving pretty quickly. Doing virtual and inspections both. I had a contractor tell me that he had a master bathroom inspection for rough plumbing, and the inspector, not virtual, stood outside the bathroom window with his phone, and they FaceTimed each other, and the contractor inside the house was showing the inspector what he needed to see, and the inspector is outside checking things off. I think it's really important to all of the municipalities around us that they get homeowners in a position to get their projects done as quickly as possible. And so I think they're really trying to do that. What I think is interesting though is that they're doing like a virtual upload. You can't do like an over-the-counter permit anymore where you walk in if you have something that's very cosmetic or there's just a basic change out that you can just walk in and someone will look at it and they'll give you your permit and they'll stamp your drawing set.
But
everything
is only a 2 to 3 day.
Yeah, but everything is getting loaded into their website through several different things, and I've been getting a lot of response. If there's a plan check comment or there's something else that needs to be looked at by an engineer or something, they've been very communicative. So I think it's moving You know,
about the same as before,
or
maybe
even a little
better.
quicker.
Yeah.
I think they're really interested in helping people help themselves.
I think
which
it's
is
less
fantastic.
cumbersome for them as well to get all of that submitted, you know, electronically and have the opportunity to look at those in that format instead of something different kind of every time. They're really streamlining their process, I think.
Great question.
Okay, thank you. And so also Shannon is with Silva Custom Construction. She's with
Hi,
us.
Shannon.
And she is asking, what would you say is the best tip for new homeowners who have not remodeled before on how to be prepared for a major project like a kitchen or bath remodel?
Well, when we partner with Silva Custom Construction, we take it both together. So, you know, what we were saying before, and we have done, you know, many wonderful projects with Silva. They're here local, right in Morgan Hill in downtown. And, you know, we like to kind of walk together. We walk, you know, the design process. We have it reviewed by the construction company for their input. I think the best way to get a homeowner prepared for something of major is to show them something that you've completed that was major. I think it's nice for homeowners to be able to see, you know, the design development, the set of documents that go with it, the spreadsheets that go with it, and the spec binders that go out with it. I think really can kind of give them the flavor of maybe what to expect, along with a timeline to get things, you know, completed. For those kinds of things, we very much rely on our building partners to make sure that our homeowners have the best, you know, information going forward.
Yeah, it's certainly going to depend on the details of their particular project, but I also find that that kind of inspiration or first, you know, view of what their new space can look like is the thing that really gets them to be able to get over that hurdle, right? And understand, I do want that, you know, and I'm ready to take these other steps and, you know, see what the budget is to achieve it.
Yeah. I think that's where, you know, renderings and being able to communicate a design becomes really important to a client. There's only so much you can do, you know, with graphite and paper and samples. If you can really see it come to life, that's when, you know, people's eyes light up and they're like, ah, yes, I get it. That's what I want. I'm ready to take another step.
Yeah, being able to envision it for themselves, I feel like is just, you know, paramount, and getting that commitment to move forward. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure your expertise in getting that vision in front of them so that they are able to kind of get excited about the project and see what it's going to look like, because I have no vision like that. I need somebody to lay it all out for me. So I'm sure that's very appreciated for your expertise on that.
You're a perfect client.
So also I have another question. It says, I'm sorry, do you guys sort of act as a general contractor and provide the contractors, or does the homeowner have to find the contractors? There's so many options out there. How do you ever choose?
Yeah, so it's both. So Design Matters is not a general contracting firm. We do the design and the process of the design for our homeowners. And then we partner with a building professional. And, you know, there are several builders that we have had long relationships that we trust, that we would refer our homeowners to. But we're also always happy to meet a homeowner's potential, you know, client or a contractor as a candidate, both, because that's how we meet other really good professionals within our industry, is by, you know, word of mouth and by, you know, experience on someone's project. And so, you know, we've met the contractors we work with now because we've either met through a professional industry or we've met on a client project. And so, you know, we find that when we are given the opportunity to either supply a contractor or that we are partnered with a contractor, they really find that the value of what has been done in advance for the homeowner in preparation for the design and build is so beneficial for the builder, because they can just follow the map, right? There's not a lot of having to guess, am I going to go left, am I going to go right? Because we've kind of said, here's the lane, here's the decisions, here's the product, here's the installation diagrams, this is how we want it to look, this is the grout color, this, right? This is the light switch that we want. It makes it very, very nice, I think, for the homeowners. And there are a lot of choices, but I always recommend that homeowners, you know, talk with one or two or three different building professionals. They all have a variety of specialties, and to work with someone that they feel they can be really comfortable in themselves in front of, because it's usually not a short-term relationship. You know, it might last 4 weeks, it might last 8 weeks, it might last 10 months, depending on the size of the project. and you really want to have a relationship that you can speak freely with your building professional and your team about whatever is that's going on. That I think just getting the feeling right, I think is something that is a value too for homeowners. But yes, lots of choices.
Well,
Sorry,
and
go ahead.
absolutely. I think that we intentionally, over the time of working through a project and developing a design, we get to know the clients as well. And then by the time we get to the real bidding process, it's pretty easy to figure out who the client is going to gel with the best.
Yes.
Based on their personality type, what things are really a priority to them. So, we know enough contractors and good partners to try to, it's like matchmaking, I think you'd get along with so-and-so, and then sending them over to the house to meet. And of course, we're happy to meet with and work with, contractors of their choice. But I am very specific about the contractors that I'll send to a specific client's home in the hopes that, it is that perfect union of construction.
Good. Hopefully it doesn't happen very often that you have to have a breakup in the middle of a project.
Very
with another contractor. That would be very...
I'm an excellent matchmaker.
So we're getting questions in. I'm excited. So keep asking your questions, please. The next question is, actually it says, I'm struggling to find my style. What would you suggest I do to get started? And can you have combined styles?
I think everybody has a combined style. I don't think that there is one term that defines one style encapsulated. If you say traditional, that's going to mean something else to Roberta than it means to me. If you say transitional, that's going to mean something different to each person. The way that I like to get clients to start to visualize what's happening for them is to use other images of projects. They can go on Houzz and build idea books, or go on Pinterest. I personally like Houzz because you can leave comments underneath your notes. And so when I start onboarding with a client, I'll say, just go on to this platform. I'll give them the link through our website and take a look and just start loading things into your folder and say something to me. Say, I don't know what I love about this picture, but it feels bright and sunny. That tells me something about what they're starting to look at. I don't know what I love about this kitchen, but it's white. I think I want white, but I don't really like the style. That starts to tell me something else. And so as you start to create a filter and clients are able to start to identify themselves, what it is that really they're attracted to is what kind of builds the style bubble for that client to be able to work within and articulate. And it can be a broad stroke thing, and it can be an itty bitty tiny thing. I'll have a client say to me, Julie, I love this picture, but I hate that dining room chair. And they'll tell me why. That tells me a world about, they don't want any curves. They don't want any detail. They don't want, they want something upholstered and not all wood. You're able to sort of, forensically dissect and help a client through the psychology of what is my thing by, I think, image sharing. What do you think?
I agree with that too. The visual communication is just a huge factor. Even if a client doesn't know their own particular style, there are trends and color palette, combinations that will start to present themselves if they go through the process of kind of building a library of things that they like. And then it is easy for a designer to go in there and kind of find, okay, these individual things that they like, color palette, stone versus not stone, wood tones, things like that are pretty easy for us to decipher, even if the client isn't seeing that there is a trend there.
Yeah. Great
What
question.
is that? What is that site you said? Houzz? Is it
Houzz? It is probably the biggest design platform on the planet now. It is global, and I have clients load pictures from projects in London and in Italy and New Zealand. Designers use it, contractors use it, homeowners use it, landscape professionals use it. We use it. It is a beautiful platform that has been built for both image sharing and sourcing material and sourcing professionals, that I think that it's an open platform. If you agree to be a part of that platform, we basically say, here's all the work in our library, and we're putting it out there for anybody to put in their own library to use and to comment with. That is a global thing. It's pretty fascinating, some styles that we've seen come internationally that sometimes client wants, they want that maybe doesn't meet our building codes or our Title 24 lighting efficiency requirements, but it does sometimes also transport a style that they're very interested in too.
It's just really a great resource for getting to know yourself, finding ideas, seeing things in action in spaces.
Yeah, it's great.
And our portfolio, of course, is on there. You can see a lot of Design Matters work right there on thehouse.com as well as our website.
I added that in the chat box, thehouse.com, and I just popped over there. It looks like it's very user-friendly, too.
Very, yes. Yeah. And you can just type in kitchens, and you'll get a variety of kitchens. If you want a wood-stained kitchen, put wood-stained kitchen, and it will just dump hundreds of thousands of images for people to sort through. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So we have a few more minutes if we have any more questions. Anybody else has questions they'd like to pop in the box, or I think you can unmute yourself if you'd like to just ask the question in the room here. I think we can do that. I wanted to know if each of you have a favorite style or theme or texture to work with. You influence that in your clients at all?
Well, there have been a lot of beachy kind of textures and colors happening. Always in California, we do get kind of that beach cottage look, but it's taken on kind of more of a modern
contemporary
element. Yeah, I think we've been able to work with a lot of bright colors and more saturated hues than really were popular for a while. Of course, the gray movement happened, and, there's still a lot of grays happening, but a color is making a huge comeback right now, and it's very exciting for us, a lot of fun to have those different textures and colors. And metal work, of course, is huge right now.
Yeah.
You can see that in a lot of different manufacturers, new products and marketing.
I find I'm drawn to different designs during different seasons. It's like a seasonal thing for me. When summer's coming, I want everything to be white and yellow and green and just have all this brightness. But then when we kind of get into the fall colors, I'm thinking, oh, something that's a little bit more moody and maybe a little darker might be nice here too. And really, defining a style for me and things that I like is really based upon
on a day-to-day basis.
And it's everything that's surrounding me. It's things that I see in nature, and I might drive by some really cool building and think, oh man, that house looks amazing. It's all white stucco. I would have not thought to do that there. And it just starts a little creative kernel that eventually blows into Jiffy Pop and explodes everywhere.
I've been looking at a lot of in the international kind of thing that you were saying. I noticed for one particular client, and just the style that I was looking at recently, is a lot of like Manchester and like the London area, like kind of this traditional feeling, but very like modernized, with a lot of cool artwork and lighting. And that's been kind of something I've been into recently.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Gary, Sasha, do either of you have anything you'd like to add?
For me, this has been amazing. I've enjoyed every minute. And how many minutes do you have left, by the way?
We have about 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, good. Did you record this, Julie, by chance?
I think Lori is recording for us.
We're recording it.
Yeah.
Okay.
On their website. Yeah.
You could actually sell this. It's this good, what you guys did here today. I mean it. It's like
I might need more practice.
Other designers would buy what you're talking about, and the how to knit this whole process together easily, seamlessly. Not everybody, I'm laughing because you just make it easy. And
well, and we have the support of our
chamber. Business.
They have been so supportive of Design Matters. We've, come into this community in about the last 2 years, and we've really found a home here, and we are very, active with our chamber, and just being invited to do something like this and be a part of something that helps the chamber to reach out to our community. It's been a really challenging time. And so we're so thrilled to just, be here and support our chamber and our community too, by giving people, something fun to do for a little while.
Provide some information on something they're probably most assuredly thinking about at this time.
Yes.
Well, they're spending so much time at home.
It had been.
Yeah.
Yes. Time to release your kitchen from quarantine.
Yeah, one more comment and I'll shut up. But what's been going on here, like over the last 3 or 4 months, has taken our industry, like it's a quantum leap. Nobody thought we would be here.
Yeah.
it was business as usual for so long. And all of a sudden it's not. And we're using all these techniques. And I wrote some nice things. It's like virtual inspections. Who would have thought about that 6 months ago? Nobody. It wouldn't have happened.
But the level of, efficiency there is quite a bit better.
Yeah, and we're finding new ways as a manufacturer. We're experimenting with new ways to kind of support our designers. And something really simple is that Roberta, Julie, or whoever, Sasha, you say, send these 4 swatches to these people. We'll put them in a nice little gift box and we're going to send them out. So we're creating some new ways.
Yes, it's contactless, right? Contactless sample delivery.
Yep, and we're working on that right now to be able to support you, so you don't have to get them and then redo them. So you can, we're thinking about boxes and how to stylize them and all kinds of things.
We're all in this together.
We are all in this together. And the cooperation and collaboration that has come through so many different industry changes and business partners supporting each other. This is what, this is all about, is kind of this grassroots movement, again, back to where we all come from, really uplifting each other and finding a way to collaborate and communicate and support. I think every industry had major changes. Every industry had major struggles. Everything is completely different right now. So it's wonderful having, partners that support.
Yeah, it's nice to see some faces.
So the question is now, are your fees set per project, or do you bill hourly or some other way? And then there's a secondary part of this question that I think you'll like, Gary. It says, what would you call Gary's style? I love it.
We should say Gary does.
Gary, you want to go
very
first?
Sophisticated style.
What is my style? It changes so much. I have 3 very tasteful daughters that help me stay current. And then I have all these ladies that I work with, and it changes all the time. I'm really crazy that way. I do get shamed into doing certain things, but I know, because I think I have style. And then I realize, no, I'm totally out of my lane, totally out. And
I rely on those family members to make sure that
I do. And I did notice something. Roberta, you mentioned something about some grays, and we like all these little splashes of color. As I travel, and I travel all over the place, I see these hotels and lodging places changing their palette, and they really are staying gray or those muted tones. So they're going to be here for a while.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
There's some softness
Have
there.
to be remodeled in the next 5 years, which creates some more revenue for us.
Yeah.
Gary,
It's sticking around. It's not going anywhere fast.
So let's get to the first question about how we kind of structure what we do. Roberta, you want to
So
give
we are an
overview?
hourly rate. What we'll do is we'll come over and talk about your project and get a feeling for what the priorities are, as well as for the spaces. If we can do a virtual meeting via Zoom. Occasionally we will still come out to the home if it's pertinent that we see some things in person. And then we'll give a good proposal on what we expect the fees to be. Of course, at that stage when we're just barely first meeting and we haven't actually dug into the work quite yet, it's very hard to give an exact timeline, and that's why we don't do fixed rates. But certainly, we start out slow and we check in with our clients on regular intervals to let them know where we're at with the time, to make sure that we don't go over what was talked about, unless it's a conversation that happens first and there's, of course, reasons for that or requests, and that's talked about with our clients. So
I don't think it's very common in our industry that you get a fixed fee, because sometimes projects are very fluid. Clients might not know exactly what they really want until we start to scratch the surface a little bit. I tell clients that, doing design and walking the path of a project for them is kind of like peeling an onion. You have your onion, you start to peel a layer, peel a layer, peel a layer. And then suddenly, if you peel it enough, whatever this space is supposed to do and your house is supposed to do, it pops open, right? Like a flower. And then you have this beautiful thing that you think, oh, I never thought I was going to do that. Had I thought about moving the laundry room to where the bedrooms are, years ago, I would have done that, because look, it just opened up this big space. And so we like to make a proposal for our client that gives them an expectation about what our fees might be. And we just ask that we kind of start, to, walk slowly into the shallow end together as we start to move through a project cost.
That's great. Does anybody else have any questions today? I think that we've asked and answered most everything.
Excellent.
Our emails are open for design comment and questions. If there's anything that anybody wants help with or thoughts about, please do not hesitate to email us at projects@designmatters.design.
Let's see, I'm going to drop that in the room real quick. Projects
At designmatters.design.
And you can find us on all the social media platforms, Pinterest, Facebook,
We're
LinkedIn.
happy to answer a design
Instagram.
challenge.
Yeah.
We love a challenge.
Yes, and you can always reach out to me at the chamber. I'm really happy to connect you with these ladies. It's Lori. It's very simple. Lori, Lori, @morganhill.org. I'm happy to connect everybody, whoever needs to interact there and make this happen. I'm happy to be the conduit for that. So
Thank you for
Thank
connecting
you,
us
Lori.
today. Yeah, Lori.
thank you so much for everything today. Gary and Sasha, thanks for joining us. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.